Hey everybody, Sue here from She Sells. Started off my day dropping off my eBay packages. I'm getting a fairly early start this morning. I did pack my eBay packages last night. I had one of those nights where I like to listen to a book on tape as I'm going to bed. Like, I'll set it for 15 minutes and usually I'm asleep by the time the timer goes off. If I'm not, sometimes I listen to 45 minutes because I'll do 15-minute timer 2 or 3 times. Anyway, I had finished a book, so I went downstairs about midnight to get a new book. For some reason, Audible Books does not let you buy on your phone, so you have to do it on the laptop. Anyway, I went downstairs to do that, and I ended up packing I only had 4 eBay sales. I did sell 2 shoes yesterday, and honestly, I haven't put up a listing in 2-3 months. And I decided about a week or so ago that I was going to end some of my shoe listings and start them over, because they're pretty stale at this point. They've probably been up 6 months, 7 months, and I haven't touched them. I mean, I've done some things like promoted listing and sales, but they've pretty much slacked off. All of a sudden I'll sell two or 3, and then I don't sell any for a while. So I made a video about that already, how I took down 5 or 6 or 7 listings and then started to relist them, and they didn't want to take my titles anymore. They were saying that I had duplicate brands in the title and I was keyword spamming, and all I had was the name of the shoe and exactly what it said on the box, plus the size and if it was men's or women's. Anyway, I had a few viewers tell me how to fix that, and I still haven't gone back and done it. But so I packed up the sales that I had last night. Backing up one more time, I do have to get some listings up on eBay because I bought some Halloween like 90% off last year. First, I'm going to check and see if I can sell it on Amazon or if there's any listings, and then I am going to list them on eBay. I did make a photo box, if you want to call it. Actually, my employee did most of it, and I was going to do a video as we were making it, but she ended up bringing it home a couple times and working on it there, so I'll at least show you what we came up with. It's all finished except for the lighting. We bought 3 different kinds of lighting. We're going to kind of test them out. Tomorrow my husband's having a cath lab procedure, so we will either come home at the end of the afternoon, or if they have to do a stint, he'll stay overnight. So I'll have a day or 2 to work on eBay stuff, so I'll probably try to get to that tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, depending on how he's feeling, or maybe Friday. So back to the first original story. I went downstairs to buy my book, and it was like, oh, why don't I just go ahead and do my eBay, package them up right now. So I did that, and then I was like, well, I had not finished emptying the truck from our trip to Nashville. I don't know what this guy thinks he's doing. Okay. I hadn't finished unpacking from the trip to Nashville, and then I had filled up my car yesterday. Not quite full because I didn't start shop until about 3. We had to visit the cardiologist yesterday. And I thought, let me go ahead and empty that out because I'll need that tomorrow. So I emptied out the car, and then I went ahead and emptied out the truck. Can't hardly walk through my office area right now. Carla's coming Friday, so hopefully that will get all shipped out Friday. So I did all that, and then I went back upstairs. No, took the dog out. Then I went back upstairs and got ready for bed. I climbed into bed. I didn't get my book. Anyway, I just listened to something else for a little while. It didn't take me long to go to sleep. So today I thought I would just sort of take you through my day, and not just so much tell you, okay, I got this much, I stopped at this many stores, but kind of my process. So I spent a little time last night. I had 3 different cities that I wanted to go to. I wanted to go south of Atlanta, and at 7:30 this morning, I looked at it. 6:30 maybe. I got up really early this morning. I looked at about 6:30, and the traffic was already starting to get bad. And I was like, well, maybe I could go to Douglasville first, make a couple stops there, and then head down to Fayetteville, Noonan, Peachtree City area. Griffin. Actually, there was a store in Griffin I wanted to go to. These are all about 50 miles from my house. So, and the other place was Athens. I was going to go over to Athens because I haven't been there for quite a while. And it's basically just the same stuff I've been getting around here. So it's not like going to any new stores or whatever. Just going to an area where I haven't picked up all of the items at the store like I have around here. So I got up this morning and I'm looking at the maps and everything. You know what? Let me head north because the traffic isn't bad that direction. So I just I just took them off my route in en route, so they're still there, so I can still do them the next time, and just started building my route up north. So I have 13 stores on my list, but I have exactly 5 hours to shop because it's an hour there, an hour to get back, and then I have an appointment at 5:30 to get my hair cut. So I have to be back. And I wanted to make dinner for Paula and everything tonight because he can't eat after midnight. So I wanted to make him a decent dinner tonight. So I made my map. I'm getting started. I've already decided to skip my first stop because it was just kind of along the way, and I really want to get straight up there and see how many of the stores I can do there. The other store, I had 2 stores that I picked that are about halfway there, but I can do that anytime. It's only 25 minutes from my house. So headed to the first store, and then as I work my way through en route, it depends on how long it takes me at each store. Sometimes I find more than expected, or on a day like today when I have limited time, I'm really not scanning anything new. I'm trying to run in and just grab, but you know, there always might be something that catches my eye that I want to check out. But basically, I'm trying to run in, make as many stops as I can, and grab as much stuff as I can from my, if you want to call it a list. I do have lists in my notes on my phone, and I may grab it when I run into Walmart unexpectedly and glance down my list. This is what I'm looking for right now, just so I don't forget any department or, you know, any holiday. Like right now, you know, there's a few Halloween items I might be grabbing, and I might not remember. I don't have the best memory. So I might open my notes in my phone and just glance through my Walmart list as I'm walking into Walmart. Same with all the other stores. I don't really have a complete list at every store, but just some things that I'm looking for right now. So as I start to go through the stores, depending on how long I stay at the first few, I may end up skipping a store along my route. But anyway, we'll see how many stores I get to today. And I'll kind of talk to you through the day if I don't forget or if I have time. So come on along and let's see how much we do today. We'll see how much my car fills up as the day goes on. I kind of slacked and didn't get boxes built this morning. I was like, oh, I should do some boxes, because then the bags just tend to pile up if I don't have boxes ready. If I have boxes ready, like what I'll usually try and do is put all the grocery in one box, all the plush in another box when I bring it out from the store. It was almost 80 degrees with 75% humidity last night when I was emptying the cars, and I'm like, really? It's supposed to be fall. I don't know how hot it's going to get today. It's already 80 degrees, but it didn't feel as oppressive as last night, so the humidity must be a little lower. But it's been pretty hot the last few days. We had maybe 1 week, maybe 3-4 days of nice weather, and then it got hot again, which is the same thing in Atlanta every year. It gets cool, teases us a little bit, and then it gets hot again, sometimes all the way through December. Usually January and February are cold. Okay, so I didn't build my boxes this morning. I was like, oh, I can grab some from Lowe's, because there's a Lowe's right next to one of the stores that I go to. Actually, I think it's in between like a Walmart and another store up there. And then I was like, oh, I can take some of my tubs, because those I can stack if I bring the lids, if I remember to bring the lids. No, they're all full. Maybe I'll buy some more tubs. I'm not sure I need any more, but we'll see what I end up buying, because I really won't be able to just stack bags all day long, or I won't be able to fit enough stuff in, because if your bags start to really pile up, then stuff on the bottom gets crushed. So come on along for the ride and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I've already messed up my schedule. I decided not to follow en route and go to the last store, the furthest store first, because the two stores I really want to hit today are two of the furthest stores. And then of course I passed by this Walmart, and I think I'm coming home a different way, so I was like, okay, stop at this Walmart. And then I felt like I was taking a little bit too long, so I went ahead and set my timer for 20 minutes, and I did finish right at the 20 minutes. Took me a little bit to check out. When you use tax exempt, you can't go in the self-checkout lines. So just depends on the time of day, or which Walmart, if they have enough cashiers or not. It really didn't take me that long. And I did get everything scanned into my buy list. There was a couple things that were sets and don't really scan, or bundles, whatever you want to call it, that don't really scan. So I was able to, when I had a couple minutes in line, find those in Scoutify. So I got those entered in. I'm trying really hard to enter everything into a buy list on Scoutify. It's Scoutify 2 now, but I still just call it Scoutify, so that I can have it all ready for Carla when I get home. And we just kind of have to separate it, and you email the buy list from your phone into the laptop and open up a new batch and attach that, so you don't have to start scanning while you're once you've brought everything home, it's already all scanned in. So a little off track already, but we will try and get back on track. And it's not too hot yet. It's 84. But my good shoes, I literally wore a hole in. I felt like I was stepping on something during the day, and when I took my shoes off later that night, I had like a flap that I had worn into my shoe. So I'm wearing my other shoes, which aren't as comfortable. My feet are already a little hot. So I'm definitely ordering some good shoes, because it is Q4 and I need good shoes. Okay, we'll catch up again along the way. Okay, this is me and my melted self. I just spent probably an hour and 15 minutes at that first store that was all the way to the town where I'm going. I set the timer for 20 minutes, and then I set the timer for 20 minutes, and again, and maybe again, I don't know how many times, but I spent about $800, and I made at least that much, so it was worth the time in there. But now I have to stop at Lowe's for boxes, and my car says it's 100 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's not. It hasn't made it to 100 in Atlanta this whole summer. But I am hot because I was packing the car. Even if I had boxes, I would have been hot. So I am going to run into Lowe's, get some more boxes, and I got 3 hours, and that's about it. Okay, I'm a little more melted, and still have, I have maybe 2.5 hours before I have to be on my way. But now that I found one item at a store here, there's one on the way home. I have been waiting and waiting for it. It's something that I bought last year. It's something that's Halloween. And I was thinking they weren't going to get it because it's getting kind of late in the year. So I definitely want to stop and see if they got them at the other store as well. So now I have to really figure out my time. I drank a whole bottle of water while I was in Lowe's. I'm still hot as anything, totally melted. This is the glamorous life of reselling. Okay, I will come back to you if I have time. Bye. So as I was pulling out of Lowe's, I realized there's a U-Haul right across the street. Next time I'm going there, so I don't have to walk all the way across the store and then get stuck at self-checkout, because I put an extra thing on the table, unknown item in the area. Then when I take it out, it says, please put it back. I was stuck in this loop and I had to wait for the checkout lady. And then I just left the store and I only had to go half a mile, and I had a green arrow and I was like, oh, turn really quick. And there was the shopping center before I needed to turn, and I couldn't cut through. Anyway, now I'm at my next stop and still melted. I need a drink. I need probably something to eat, but not stopping now because I'm on a roll. Okay, so I ran in that stop and I've been buying some holiday pumpkin food there. This is hopeless. And they didn't have any, but I literally opened the freezers just to lean against the cold glass and try to cool myself off. The lady at the cash register was complaining how hot it was. And then I saw these. And yes, I'm gonna get black all over my teeth or brown from the sandwich thing, but I don't care. And that's probably my lunch. Anyway, I did get a water as well. Why does water cost twice as much as the soda? Don't ever understand that. Anyway, on to the next stop, and I'll talk to you later. So I popped into one of those salvage grocery stores. At least that's what it said in the description on Google Maps. But it really was, it might have been because it said now under new management. But now it was just a kind of a large, really smelly convenience store. So I wasn't in there 30 seconds. It was really bad smoke smell covered up by a really strong cleaning smell, like a Pine Sol thing or something. All right, I have 3 or 4 more stops and I have an hour and 25 minutes. So let's see what I can do. Oh, it's towards the end of the day and I'm headed home. I was rushing a little bit because I had a haircut at 5:30, but I looked at my calendar and it's actually next Wednesday. So I'm going to stop at 2 more stores because my husband wasn't expecting me home till after my haircut. It's towards the end of the day. Fairly melted. It really was a hot day, in the high 90s. I can't believe it's October already. Anyway, I came about halfway home and I was able to hit those 2 stores that I was thinking about hitting. Unfortunately, the item I found earlier, a whole bunch of, that I was rushing to this store to see if I could get them all, I didn't find. And I said to the lady, do you have blah blah blah? And she said, oh yeah. And she starts looking for them with me, and she asks one of the guys that works there, and he said, oh, it's at the table right by the cash register. And he said, is that the lady who called? And so she says to me, oh, we had a lady call and she's having us hold all of them. They were under the cash register though, so I don't think it was as many as I got up in the other city. She said, but if she doesn't come to pick them up today, you can get them tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's, hospital day, so I may see if my son can go to another one that's near his work. He works from home on Wednesdays, so I'm going to see if he'll go check that out tomorrow during lunch for me, because he's only like a mile away from one of his stores. And then if I'm able to Friday, I will try and, grab them up from some of the other stores. But I wanted to tell you about something that happened. There's a store I've been going to that it's marked down differently at different stores. So I had bought many of them. Well, I bought some at $11.50, and then I bought many of them at $7.50. And then I had heard somebody else say they stopped at one of my stores in Atlanta and got them for $3.50. So when I was up in Nashville, I went into one and they were still $11.50 there. Then I went to the next store and I asked for a manager, long story short, I said I wanted to buy them all, and if she would let me know when they were going to get marked down, I would come back and pick them up. And she said it's really close to getting marked down again to $7.50, but she said our store's been doing a new thing where we go straight from 50% to 90%. So if you want them all, I'll give them to you for $1.50. So I filled up the back of the truck. So I thought, I was back in Atlanta area. I mean, it was much north of Atlanta. I don't know, it says my battery's running out, but I have it plugged in. Nope, it got unplugged. Hang on just a sec. I don't know if I'm still running or not. Got unplugged from the car. Okay, so I went into the store in the city I was at this morning, and I asked for the manager or the lead, because when I asked for the manager at that other store, she said the manager's not here, but the lead is here. So I knew that's something to keep in mind I can ask for, because apparently they have marked down authority. So I asked the lady, she said, well, I'm the lead, but here's the store manager right here. So he scanned it for me and he said, no, these just got marked down to $7.50. And since my car was pretty full anyway, I didn't say, would you do anything for me if I wanted to buy them all? Because that seemed to spur on the lady up in Nashville. So I did skip that, but my whole point of telling you that is, find out, learn a store really well. This one's a newer store for me, so I didn't really know the markdown sequence, or, that maybe the managers have a little bit of leeway. So that's good to know. And then, just chat up cashiers or people that work there, and, oh, I've been buying these at another store, that was cheaper than this. Do you know if these will get marked down more? I don't necessarily right off the bat say, hey, if I buy all these, will you sell them to me cheaper? I like to feel them out a little bit, and just let them know that I was interested in buying them all, and I'd come back. I live in Atlanta, but I'd come back up here, when they all go on sale, if I can get a whole bunch of them. So, yeah, that's a couple tips there. So now I'm headed home. So I went to that one store I did a whole bunch at. Then I got 2 things at the next store. And I literally went to 5 stores where I pretty much got nothing. Then I came halfway home. There was a few more stores up there I maybe was going to pop in, but it was just so hot. And they weren't stores that I knew, had a lot of stuff. It was kind of like, oh, I've been picking up a couple things when I've been running into this store. So that's kind of how my day goes. Usually I have a couple that I really know at other branches, at other locations I've been getting a lot at, so I head more for that store. So one of those was the same store on the way home, but I've been to that one recently, but I still got a couple $100, maybe $280 worth of stuff at the one where they didn't have the one item that I really went in for. So then I came out to my car, talked to my husband about dinner, came out to my car, because I told him I have a haircut at 5:30. And so he decided we were going to go out to dinner about 7 o'clock. So now I don't have a haircut. So I think I'm going to stop 2 quick stops close to home. And then I really need a shower before I go out again. Because I did take a shower this morning, but I really melted today. And it's very draining, I mean, it was literally hotter today than some days this summer. But we never got over 100 the whole summer, so it hasn't been like an extra hot summer. But today was hot, and I envy those. I see other resellers on video or on Instagram or something. It's evening and they've got a sweatshirt jacket on. Oh, would I love that weather? I'm looking forward to it. But like I said earlier, it'll cool off and then it'll get hot again, because it just goes back and forth. That's the way it is here. The very first year I moved here in 1978, well, we came to look at houses. I still lived with my parents. I just was graduating high school. Okay, now you know how old I am. But I'm very open about that anyway. So we came down here to look at houses in December, and people were in shorts, and I was like, wow. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this video here. Just wanted to kind of show you my processes through the day. If I find some really good stuff at the next 2 stops, I'm kind of just running in to pick up stuff I'm running out of, so unless I see something really exciting or I end up with a whole new pile of stuff, I will see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the great comments. You guys are really nice to me. See you soon. Bye.